here, and we are back. The family is asleep, waiting a little longer than I planned. Just winding down the evening with the family and getting the kids in bed and all that other kind of stuff. But it is now rolling right around to 11 o'clock. I have a fresh cup of hot blooded Detective Joe right here. And we've got a gauntlet of classic Sega commercials from Japan being brought to us by one of my favorite YouTubers, Kid Show Ryuken, playing in the background. So, we'll have some fun with that. And we'll just kind of see where the stream leads, see who stops by, see what we end up playing. Just for a change of pace, I put the Xbox One on the actual 4K TV, so it's actually, working in its, I guess, designed for format. Although it is always nice to, pop a new console onto a CRT, especially those, Trinitron VGA monitor or a Trinitron PVM. It's got some really interesting range. Hey, Diego, we are back again. That is correct, my friend. So, I know that Sega never quite, was able to best Nintendo in the 80s, but nothing beats the Sega jingle at the end of their commercials and at the start of the Sonic games. I love that. Sega. It's really good. Here it is. Nice. Ooh, the Fantasy Zone 2 right here. The arguably the king of the cute-em-ups right there. I have a Sega Master System converter for my Sega Genesis, but I don't actually have a Master System. Maybe getting a Mark III would be kind of a cool thing to get. I really like the way that the Mark III looks. So, but I guess, also having a Master System with built-in FM sound would also be like super cool too. So I don't know. A lot of WWF fans are all. Oh, I love this commercial here. This Fantasy Star here. Check this out. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Sega. Will you talk about the history of Sega and the games industry? I'll give it my all. Sega, I know, was a company that had international origins. They began making primitive arcade games for the U.S. military after World War II. And they basically made their name in Japan as an arcade manufacturer. And with the success of the Famicom and the rise of home console gaming, it was a natural progression for them to want to get in on that. Nintendo beat them to the punch in Japan with the Famicom, so Sega was always playing catch up. And to my understanding, Nintendo was able to have good relationships with manga magazines that appealed to the demographic that would be buying Sega's games. And then Nintendo also, they had just these, cultural phenomenon games like, Super Mario Brothers, and really became a humongous part of Japanese pop culture and American pop culture. And Sega was always, in the runner-up position and a distant runner-up position. They were kind of like WCW to the WWF in the 1980s or early 90s. They had their fans, had their following, but they were not in the driver's seat. And, in the United States, the Sega Genesis, which was a tremendous piece of hardware, that could really put out arcade quality video games, even though they weren't quite identical. They weren't quite arcade perfect, but they could pass for arcade games in the home. of the 16-bit variety. That was out in the United States when the Nintendo was still out. And American gamers were not as into role playing games as Japanese gamers. So, like the Famicom, it had like Dragon Quest and all these RPGs on it, that were all just kind of built to be played in the home. While, American gamers were more into having the arcade experience in the home, and that was perfectly what the Sega Genesis, Sega Mega Drive lent itself to. And then on top of that, Sega had some really cool advertising in America that, kind of cast the Sega Genesis as like, hey, this is cool. It blows the Nintendo out of the way in terms of its graphics. And yes, so you should buy the Sega Genesis. It's a much beefier, edgier, cooler console. Not that the Nintendo wasn't cool. I mean, I never had a friend anywhere ever that's like, oh, you're a nerd for owning a Nintendo. I mean, everyone liked both things, but there definitely were kind of tribal alliances and people who preferred one over the other. But I definitely fell into the Sega camp because when I was in the third grade in 1993, my mom went back to college and I babysat myself all summer. She was taking day classes, so I was by myself during the day. And because I was so responsible, she said, I'll buy you a video game console. What do you want? And I went with the Sega Genesis because that, had lots of really cool commercials. And I was a huge fan of X-Men. And Sega advertised X-Men on the Sega Genesis, and I just thought it was, I remember it had like "Welcome to the Next Level" written in like Wolverine claw marks. So that's the reason I bought the Sega Genesis. In Japan, the Mega Drive, it still had freaking awesome games. It seemed early on, it didn't have very many games out. I think they had a few arcade ports. So they had a pretty underwhelming amount of software to back up their hardware that had generated some buzz. And, Sega never was really able to catch up, even though they released some phenomenal software, the best software, I think, of the 16-bit era, especially with the Sonic the Hedgehog games. And, the Sega Genesis always played more smooth. Oh, yeah, I'm a big Sega guy. I like Nintendo, too, but I'm a huge Sega guy. I mean, I've got Sonic plushies, like, all over the game room. So, yeah, I'm a big Sonic guy. There's Mario in the background, but, I feel like there's Super Sonic up there, and I've got, like, a Sonic 2 poster and a Game Gear poster there. And, if you look over the window there, I've got some Sonic plushies hanging there too. So yeah, I'm a big Sega enthusiast, and Sonic the Hedgehog is my favorite video game character. I'm a much bigger fan of the Japan portrayal of Sonic. Actually, hang on a second here. I have a cool Sonic box right here, so I just like to have this hanging around the game room. I will have like Sonic hanging up next to Mystic Gohan up there. So I definitely, Sega, it had its followers in Japan, but they weren't able to overtake Nintendo or the PC Engine. You love your kid's room. I wish it was. Well, actually, this is my room that Santino partakes in with me. We share it together. So, and actually, when I was a bachelor, my whole house, every room was like this. Once my wife moved in, it had to be concentrated into one room. So, you got to be nice. So, anywho, so yeah, it wasn't really. So it was kind of like, my understanding is that Sega of Japan, they knew they had a winner with Sega Genesis, but they knew it wasn't gonna overtake Nintendo in Japan. So they were making their own, sequel console, the Sega Saturn, and there was, in my understanding, an increasing kind of rivalry and drift Sonic Drift between the American and Japanese development teams of Sega of America and Sega of Japan, and a lot of that drift, in my opinion, was due to the fact that the American Sega team did not understand Japanese culture, and the worst thing was, as a result of them not understanding Japanese culture, is they, I think, were very disrespectful to the Sonic team, because like, okay, so they're coming up with like, we got to make a Mario killer, okay, and so that is Sonic, okay. So they come up with Sonic, and they know that the American market is the big market that they have to overtake Nintendo in. So it's like, okay, Nintendo beat us in Japan, but the American market is just as important, if not more important. So we got to make sure we get Nintendo in the American market. So they're like, okay, let's make a mascot that appeals to Americans. So they make Sonic. And then, so it's kind of like Sonic is this love letter to America through the Japanese prism. And, I mean, keep in mind, dude, like, I mean, Japan has always kind of had this tendency to look at other cultures and kind of learn from those cultures and try to, I guess, Japanify or kind of filter the merits of other cultures into their own cultural prism, like through like the Japanese prism, kind of make it Japanese and utilize it in their own way. So the reflection of American culture through the Japanese mirror is, I think, a particularly beautiful and interesting one. And you got to keep in mind too, like America and Japan fought a war, dude. They got nuked. I mean, it's okay. So it's like Japan is very much, I think, looking to America as an example, but they also, I think, don't want to be disrespected by the Americans. So Sonic Team, the Sega spends all this time on this beautiful Sonic the Hedgehog lore. He's Chuck Yeager's rival's reincarnation. They're looking at movies like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. They give him a girlfriend like Jessica Rabbit. He's got an American style rock band. He's got he's like a cool anime version of Felix the Cat. And then you just get these like hack, loudmouth American toy makers that just don't fucking get it. And they're like, well, this is like, literally, it's like Madeline Schroeder just like patting herself on the back for like, oh, I got rid of Sonic's fangs and his girlfriend and da 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 da. And it's like, it's like eventually like Sega and America, Sega of Japan and Sega of America, they either like worked it out or one side capitulated or whatever, and it ended up working out because the quality of the Sonic games on the Sega Genesis was unparalleled. I mean, I think it was better than any Mario game in 2D, and I like the Mario games, but it was that tension, I think, that led to, a hostility towards Sega of Japan, towards Sega of America, and it led to some really stupid decisions, like, Sega rejecting Sony as a partner when Tom Kalinske was, brokering a deal with Sony. So Sega basically passed up on the PlayStation. The Sega Saturn. I mean, I get why Sega was like, hey, listen, we put all this work into the Sega Saturn. We've learned all these lessons from the Americans on how to overtake Nintendo with the Sega Saturn. We've got the Sega Saturn ready to go. We don't want to, throw away all our work just because the Americans tell us to. It's like, okay, I get it. But you can incorporate Sony into the work of the Sega Saturn. You could have a Saturn PlayStation hybrid, something along those lines. But there was just, I don't know. I don't know. And I know that there was at one time Sega and Sony had worked together on a floppy disk console for the Sega Mega Drive, and that didn't come to fruition. So I don't know if there was bad blood with the Japanese sides, but I do believe that Kalinske and Kutaragi had pretty much agreed that, once Nintendo screwed over Sony wanted to work with Sega. And, I guess Hayao Nakayama basically shot it down. And then, he ended up making his own enemy. But Sega Saturn, I mean, it was the number one console in Japan for a while until Final Fantasy VII came out. And it outsold the N64 in Japan. The problem is that it just didn't do well in other markets around the world because in, Japan, they had really cool commercials and phenomenal arcade ports that in this case sometimes were arcade perfect. Um, so awesome commercials, perfect arcade ports, and also Sega had garnered the reputation of being the cool console in the West, which I think probably appealed to Japanese consumers because Sega's like, oh, it's cool, it's exotic, it's cool in America. It's like taking the cool Sega arcade experience home. Sega was able to have the cool console, like with the Sega Genesis made in the United States, with the Sega Saturn in Japan. It's just that, the actual advertising of the Sega Saturn in America was horrendous. And Tom Kalinske, was gone. Bernie Stolar didn't want to bring any of the cool RPGs over. And it just, the Sega Saturn ended up being flat footed to a lot of American consumers. And I was one who bought the Sega Saturn. That was my console in 1996, 97. That's what I bought. That was my next gen console after the Genesis. And I just remember the Saturn getting discontinued in America, and I was like, this sucks, man, because I ended up getting a PlayStation, and I was happy with my PlayStation, but I loved the Sega Saturn. I mean, I bought that as soon as I had the opportunity to, because I was a big Sega supporter. I loved X-Men Children of the Atom. And then, the Dreamcast came out, and it did well. It had its fans, but it couldn't compete with the PlayStation 2 because the PlayStation was a global phenomenon, and the technology of the PS2 was overhyped, and the marketplace just got too crowded with Nintendo, who always had their following, and Microsoft was new and exciting, and Sega just got kind of crowded out of the console scene. And I know that there were forces within Sega of America and Sega of Japan that wanted to keep with hardware, and then there were other forces that wanted to shift over to software because it was more financially viable, and those are the people that won. And it's sad because once Sega stopped producing hardware, the quality of their games declined rapidly. And, there were definitely some really good games. The good Sega games that were out on things like the Xbox and the PS2, those really good ones were the ones that were developed for the Dreamcast. And then, because it was like, if you have your hardware out and you're putting out titles, you have to kind of defend the honor of your hardware. But once it becomes like a strictly software brand, that's when I think the quality of Sega's games became sporadic. I mean, you can still find phenomenal Sega games, but definitely, I mean, the like games like Altered Beast on the PS2, or Sonic has had like a very choppy, I guess you could say, transition to 3D with some okay games, some bad games, some good games, but they're inconsistent, But that doesn't mean that Sonic as a character is still awesome. And I think that some Sonic, like Sonic Forces, I think that's a very underrated game. I like everything I played out of Sonic Forces. And yeah, so I don't know. So that's kind of my take on, running up the history of Sega. So Diego kind of asked me like, hey, what's your understanding of the history of Sega? And that's pretty much it, So it is what it is. So, I mean, and I've tried to kind of add my spin on, what other people have said. I've been hearing the Steam Deck has good reviews. Interesting. Liv lost the title to Rousey. Good, because Ronda Rousey's freaking awesome. They should put the actual heavyweight title on Ronda Rousey. And hello, Nick Darling, my good friend. All right. Yeah. Oh, dude, I love this commercial right here. Sonic Art is a good game. I mean, we're just gonna watch the Sega Sanshiro commercials. This is what we're doing. I mean, they could have legitimately just ran the Sega Sanshiro commercials in America. I mean, they actually ran the Japanese Chrono Trigger commercial in America. They put stupid subtitles on it, but I mean, this was absurd and entertaining enough to run. So. Plus, this is cool as like the you know, it's obviously it's a very cool, it's a cool logo, cool slogan. Solo Crisis, Sega Saturn. I love Japanese commercials. They're better than American ones. That is true. Azel.
Hi, I'm Yuri Getter. Now, I'll send a telepathic message to you.
I have not seen this commercial. I don't know what that game is, but I telepathically now want to buy it. Winter heat! I want to get the Japanese version of World Series Baseball, which is called Hideo Nomo Baseball. Burning Rangers. The House of the Dead. I mean, like, okay. It took Sega about a year and a half to come up with the mastery that is... Okay, it took like, what, 2 years to come up with Sega Sanshiro. But you gotta keep in mind, dude, like, these are like the greatest video game commercials ever made. And like, the American Sega Saturn commercials were like this weird screaming blue head. I mean, it was just weird and like unrelated. I mean, oh, this is a great one. Sakura Wars. I haven't seen this one. Who's that PBS guy that Kenny Lauderdale always plays? It's all like really happy that they've got Sakura Wars on his station. This is a good one. Yeah, these are games that were left in Japan. Meanwhile, like, you know, Final Fantasy VII is like selling like gangbusters. And like, you know, Bernie Stolar is like, oh, we don't want RPGs, those are for nerds.
時を超え正義の勇者たちがここに集まるキャラクターバトルシミュレーションシャドウズ・オブ・ザ・タスクセガサターン
That is how you judo throw a goal, my friends. Nice play. Oh no.
世界初サッカー RPG 日本代表チームの監督になろうセガサターン変幻自在なゲームシステムイベントの大連鎖
These are Kid Shoryuken, man. He got an awesome selection of commercials here. Oh, Deep Fear. This is a good one. How is Deep Fear? Was Deep Fear? I don't think Deep Fear was ever released in the United States. Lunar 2.
感動のストーリーが織りなすファンタジックロールプレイングゲームルナ2エターナルブルー7月23日発売セガサターン
Yeah, there's another one we leave. Let's leave Deep Fear and Lunar 2 in Japan. Dude, and it's not like Sega Genesis, man. You know, they. Well, this is a great one. I feel like I have to buy that game now. What I was saying is that Sega Genesis brought out all the Japanese games. You know, they brought out Phantasy Star 2, Slayers. I want to say I have the Slayers RPG on Super Famicom. Oh, here we go. That game is so good. Oh, look, it's a game named after me. Oh man, this is the sad end right here. Makes you want to open your wallet and buy these games. Yes, it does. I mean, Sega Sanshiro has been confirmed to have survived this. He's appeared at multiple Sega things, you know, and ramen commercials in Japan, so he definitely survived that blast. There's Mr. Dreamcast, so you know. Now we shift gears, but yeah, man. Dude, like nothing beats the Sega Saturn, man. It's I mean, watching those commercials, you now understand why Sega Saturn did so well in Japan. And then, like, you know, when you watch the commercials for Sega Saturn in the United States, it's not that they're, like, horrible. They're not. But it's just, like, they're just not at that level. And meanwhile, you know, Sony is, you know, doing all their Sega Genesis-style commercials and stuff like that. And Sega's going for this weird, you know, remember like Mr. Plow's second commercial on The Simpsons where that guy in a toga throws a snow globe down and like it blows away and it says Mr. Plow. Like that's exactly what American Sega Saturn commercials were like. I should do a console review of Sega Saturn. I actually did. It's a very old video. I will do a new one, but I remember doing a count like it is a very early video game review. It was at the old house, and I remember I was trying to show off a lot of the 3D games that the Sega Saturn had, because the prevailing narrative on with a lot of YouTube critics was that the Sega Saturn was a 2D powerhouse that couldn't do 3D for shit. And that's not true. It's just not true at all. I mean, when you look at, Sega Saturn games and Sega PlayStation games and they're like ports, it is true that Sega Saturn was harder to program for, so people who didn't know how to work the Sega Saturn didn't use the console to its full potential. But the programmers who knew how to use the console to its full potential, it was a more powerful console than the PlayStation. So I mean, like, take a look at that Amuro Nami game that we've played on the channel and reviewed. Take a look at the tech demo of Shenmue 2. Take a look at Nights into Dreams. Take a look at Fighting Vipers. Take a look at Dead or Alive. Take a look at Virtua Fighter 2. And tell me that Sega Saturn can't do 3D. Take a look at Sonic 3D Blast. It's basically a port of a Mega Drive game, but still, Leo is still waiting for Bray Wyatt. So I don't know. They'll probably screw with you and have him pop out on Monday. Is the pay-per-view still going on? I don't know. It was hot, so I put my gym hoodie on. No, it was cold, and I put my gym hoodie on. Now I'm hot, so it's like, take it off. I'm like one of those, I'm like one of those like Twitch girls who, like kind of basically like takes off clothes for donations. So, I want super chat bucks, people. This tank top doesn't pay for itself, all right? So, anyway. Hi, Noel. Like, no one really cares what happens in WWE. Well, I care about Leo, and Leo cares about what happens in WWE. So, yeah, I don't hate WWE. I just don't like. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna go on another wrestling rant here. Okay, like, all right. AEW is better than WWE. It is. And I'm sick of like people pretending now that Triple H is in charge of WWE. It's so much better because I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen like a ton of Triple H's WWE, but I have watched some pay-per-views at friends' houses. I've like clicked on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown here and there, and I just don't care. Like I haven't seen anything on there. Like, I know for like NXT fans, they might be really excited that he's bringing some people back or something like that. But I didn't like NXT. NXT lost to AEW for a reason because it wasn't as good as AEW. It didn't have as good of talent. I don't think the formatting was as good. It was like a knockoff Ring of Honor with WWE branding, and WWE fans liked it because it was not as stale and nauseating as Raw was, because Raw was unwatchable. Okay, it was bad. There was no one on there that you either wanted to be, or like identified with. It was just overproduced stale shit. Sorry to swear. I'm just Here comes the 30-minute wrestling rant. Okay, so AEW comes along, and their format is more like WCW, and that was much better, and it was refreshing, and we finally got to hear Tony Schiavone again, and the matches, it was much more you just hopped right into the wrestling action kind of thing. Now, the problem with AEW is not so much what's on the camera, is much as kind of like the woke vibe that some of the talent brings with them. And that isn't like a signal to like turn hostile and hate the talent and hate the product. I just think it's kind of annoying when CM Punk comes out with a pro-abortion shirt on. It's like, dude, like what are you doing? Like, you're already unlikable enough, and now you're telling me that you love abortions. Like, Good for you, man. Like, all right. Anyway, so and then like we're to the situation now where definitely I think Triple H is trying to stir shit up behind the scenes because Tony Khan signed all these ex NXT guys that Vince McMahon was not going to use, and now that Triple H is in charge, Triple H used those guys in NXT, and there's still that idea that hey, WWE is the major leagues and everything else is just a pathetic, pathetic flea market. So obviously you want to go to WWE because that's the show, and everything else is just second rate crap run by money marks and indie promoters, which is not true because the AEW product is better than the WWE product. It is. I'm sorry. Roman Reigns is not interesting. He's not. Okay, I'm tired of people acting like he's cool because he's not. Okay, he's not good on the mic. I get it. He's a tough Samoan guy. He's been through a lot. I just don't like his character, and I don't care. He's not a cool bad guy. Okay, and Brock Lesnar, like he's a tough guy. He's roided up, accomplished collegiate wrestler with adequate MMA skills, but he's not a good performer in the ring. I don't care. He's not. He's got less moves than Hulk Hogan and worse cardio than like anyone I've ever seen. He turns blue and has to take naps during matches. He's not that good. Okay? There's that. All right. So, and everyone else in WWE is just kind of like AEW light with all these like woke indie guys with their, cartwheeling, Japanese knockoff matches, which is what it is. It's fine. I don't care. I will watch WWE, but I'm tired of people saying like it's awesome now because it's not. Okay. And it's like, it's interesting that Bray Wyatt's coming back. I think it would be cool if they started playing like Jefferson Airplane with arena effects or something like that. And I'm sure like there will be things in WWE over time that become interesting. But I'm just like, and I as a professional wrestling as a genre deserves respect. WWE deserves respect. Okay, just because it's not always my cup of tea doesn't mean that it's not of value. Hey, there's Vader. So, anywho, okay, but the kind of not macho vibe that AEW sends out sometimes is not always great. Like I'm not gonna wear a shirt that says "Scissor Me." All right, like that's not cool. Okay, it's just not. All right, so like. Some of the more woke stuff with the AEW fan base, like Nick Hausman was on Disco Inferno's and Conan's podcast, and they were talking about just stuff, and Conan, I know it was Disco Inferno was saying like, because Disco Inferno, he's kind of a goof, but he's got good insights sometimes, and sometimes he has horrible insights, in my opinion. Anyway. So he's like, I shared, yes, exactly, and not the good kind either. So anywho, so Disco goes to Nick Hausman. He's like, listen, I shared a locker room with the Steiners. Okay, like we were men. Okay, and then like Nick Hausman is like, oh yeah, it was great for all the cisgender white males, and I was just thinking like, oh my god, shut the fuck up. Like I'm sorry, but it's just like, dude, like what is this? Okay, like you can be a man and have an audience that caters to mainstream dudes and not be a sadistic bully a-hole that makes people miserable, okay? The Steiners were not good for bullying people. Scott Steiner, I think, had a whole bunch of issues. I think there were a whole bunch of bullying issues in wrestling. I think there were a whole bunch of psychological issues in wrestling. I get it. That's not good. I mean, I think they're on the road too much. I think there's too much insecurity. I think there's too much weird manipulative stuff. I think there's probably weird suppressed sexual stuff in professional wrestling. All that stuff is not good. I think it's awesome that Bully Ray's back in TNA, and I hope he gets the belt. I want to see him and that wrestler dude. I can't think of his name. I want to see them have a nice long feud, trading the belt back and forth. Anyway, it's like you can have wrestling for its audience, like, and not be hostile toward the minority, is what I'm trying to get to. All right, you don't have to have a bunch of like woke, shrill politics, like Hangman Adam Page, for example, right? He like his gimmick is to be like I think he's supposed to be a cowboy badass, and then he runs out wearing a dolly like a skin tight Dolly Parton shirt with rose petals on his jeans. Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, is that your gimmick? Like, are you supposed to be like the delicate cowboy? Because if it is, that should be explained. Like, hi, I'm Hangman Adam Page, the delicate cowboy. You know, I can kick ass, but I have a sensitive side, ladies. Like, that's a gimmick, okay? But just, I don't know. Like, explain things better and dial down the weird politics and the weird pandering. But I still like AEW better than WWE. And Impact Wrestling I like, but that's another thing. Is like I'm tired of the Impact fans trying to act like things are going well in Impact because it's not. It's not going well. They can't sell out a damn cafeteria. You know, you watch them and like I mean I remember watching TNA when it was like packed. You know, like the Impact Zone was packed. You know, they could go to London and sell stuff out. You know, it looked like a real wrestling show. Now it looks like an indie show, okay? It's like they got a couple rows of people, the arena's all blacked out, there's no response for anyone because there's no one in the crowd to clap for anything because there aren't enough people. You got 20 people there, and 20 people don't make a big arena effect, okay? So I'm tired of seeing these people in the comment section acting like, oh, Impact's thriving. This is the best Impact's ever been. No, it's not. It's not the best it's ever been. It's the worst it's ever been, okay? It's bad. It's very bad. The product itself might be fine, but, like, it's an indie show. I mean, it's a glorified indie show now, okay? It's a glorified indie show with the legacy of a company that, 15 years ago was the number two. There you go. If the bunny, White Rabbit equals the birthday of Bray Wyatt. Okay, good deal. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to offend anyone. Once I start getting ranting about professional wrestling, I just kind of lose control. So there's that. In conclusion, yeah, the White Rabbit did he finally come out? Is that did they do something with Bray Wyatt? Did he come out? I don't know. All the rumors are saying he's gonna have like a stable with Alexa Bliss and Bo Dallas and his all Bray Wyatt's amazing friends, So, Shenmue, I need to play Shenmue 3 still. It gave me chills. Did he show up? Interesting stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to like poo poo this either, but I never really got Bray Wyatt's character. Like, what is he? Like, is he like the devil living in the woods? It's like he's like if one of like the Deliverance guys was like possessed by the devil, like is that his character? Because I guess like if that's what it is, okay, but I don't know. Okay, so but I will say this: the first time I saw the Fiend mask, I was a little disturbed. I did. It was like, what the hell is that? Kind of like it was kind of unsettling. So. And I do think that Bray Wyatt is a talented performer. He is able to play both. He's able to play a mentally ill person well, and I mean that in a good way. So yeah, and that is quite the shift from Husky Harris. Like because I remember when he was Husky Harris. I remember when he was like with all those like NXT dudes, and Ryback was like doop de doo doo or whatever. And Husky Harris is like, I'm a truck with a Ferrari engine or something like that. And then he came out as evil Deliverance cult leader, which is fine. I guess Waylon Mercy was kind of like he kind of had that like creepy vibe, like I don't know. I don't know. Trailer park cult leader, like what is like I'm trying to think how ominous that is, because I guess there is something like you could go into a trailer park and get kidnapped by a fat guy with a Hawaiian shirt, and then I don't know, maybe I don't know, whatever. So it is what it is. So I'm rambling incoherently. I haven't played video games in 45 minutes. What the hell am I doing? Like, International Channel was right. That wrestling rant went on for 30 minutes. All right, this is all right. Whatever. Okay, I'm gonna drink some coffee and play a video game here. All right. I know you. I mean, what would you? I'm thinking out of necessity. All right, I do need to play some Fortnite on the stream because um I have to get that anime skin before the month is over because I paid for that stupid battle pass and I want that anime skin, all right? And I'm not buying any more battle passes after that because the whole system is stupid. Like I was playing Street Fighter 5 earlier, okay? And when I buy the season pass, you know what I get with the season pass? All the characters. That's what I get with the season pass, okay? Same thing with Dragon Ball Fighters, same thing with everything else. And this like time condition, you have to hit certain levels by the end of the month or you lose the opportunity to get it. That is not okay, and I don't like it. But I paid money for this thing, and I want that damn skin. So, there's that. So Leo, just question: did Bray Wyatt actually come out, or did he just reveal his face in the promo? Um, I'm just curious as to how long they're going to drag this thing out. So, yeah, okay, all right. Do you want to see me? Is there any game in particular? Just vids. Did his face show up? Did he pull off the rabbit face? Is he? You know what they really should do? That people were there. What people were there? These commercials in the back are phenomenal, by the way. What is this game? What is this? I want this game. I don't even know what it is. I don't know. Is that Mazinger? Oh, it's a Cap. I don't know what that was. Okay, anyway. Okay, let's just play some Fortnite. Let's play something on the Xbox One. If you guys are tired of me playing a new game, we'll play some old games. Because I know, like, I'm primarily, like, a vintage gamer. YouTubers who are at Extreme Rules. I am the Extreme Rules, and I am a YouTuber, okay? So, all right. I know, like, I'm more of, like, a classic gaming channel, so I don't want to alienate my audience by, mixing it up too much. But at the same time, I want to just kind of, I don't want to limit myself either. I mean, I don't want to be like trying to, I don't want to be, hopping on fads, but I want to, be myself and all that other kind of good stuff too. So an eclectic mix of the old and the new, you know. So yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's play. I do have my PlayStation Mini and Super Console X ready to roll with a host of classic titles as well. I've never played Fortnite on this TV either, so it'd be interesting to see what it's like on a high def TV, as opposed to my lovable Trinitron monitor, which is a beast and a half, by the way. Do 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 do. I do love my CRT TVs, but I will say, these consoles that were made for, like high def TVs, they look the best on high def TVs. Now, the thing is sometimes these consoles have games that are like, older games, and then they look better on CRT TVs. So it's like for the newer games, they look better on the high def TVs, and then for the older games, it's cool to hook them up to a CRT where they actually look the best, So, I don't know. Ooh, there's a Dreamcast commercial for Marvel superheroes, or Marvel versus Capcom Clash of the Superheroes. I'm looking at it out of the corner of my eye. Okay, why is there no volume on this? There we go. Epic will never ask for my password. No, but you will ask for my credit card number. It's your international channel. Are you out of work, or are you on a break, or what's going on, my friend? Serafina was chewing on my copy of, not chewing, but she was actually like, I think she liked it because it was a pink cartridge. She was kind of like snuggling with my Tokimeki Memorial Super Famicom, my pink Super Nintendo cartridge. Your work is finished. This was a great game to play. We should actually play this game again. Tokimeki Memorial. That was some good stuff. What else we got here? You know what else we got to play? The JoJo's Bizarre Adventure RPG. Alright, what do we got here? The Chrome Blob. I don't want to really play this here. I can add friends. Not now. I want to be lonely. Okay, Season 3. I don't care about any of this. Can I... Okay, fine. I'll equip this. Whatever. Alright, well, how many stars... Do I have this yet? No, I've still got that stupid locked thing. I need 45. How many stars do I have? Claim 100 to unlock a... 100 what? I don't even know. I'm just going to play here. Alright. Why play? Alright. Do-do-do-do-do. You know, I have the Michael Jackson Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but I have one copyright strike on the channel, so I'm afraid to play it. Like, because I want to, like, I'm, like, trying to lie very low. And do you know what got me the copyright strike on the channel? It was, Plastic Love. Like, the most over... Like, it is, like, that is the most... overplayed mainstream city pop song, and I had like a shortened version of it that I did a Maria Takeuchi fan art on my channel to that song, and the company literally like took it down and gave me a strike. Like, just run ads on it. What, like, I don't know. This I just don't understand. You know, I mean, I know that Japanese companies kind of play by a different set of rules, you know, so. Hey, Konichiwa in 1070. There is Tokimeki Memorial 2. Is it in English? I need to get an Ethernet cable for my Xbox. This is interesting. I have not seen this game in high definition. I'm used to seeing it on my little CRT, which can portray, which does, like, you know, high def through, you know, VGA. VGA is a very robust format, man. That can really it can handle a lot of different signals, you know. There's like a video of like Colt Cabana playing Fortnite, and he's like, yeah, you know, it's not just me who shares a bank account with my mom. It's also my brother, and he writes for Family Guy. It's like, what? What the hell are you talking about? And, you know, Dave Meltzer is like, and, you know, and what does sharing a bank account with your mother have to do with anything? You know, there's plenty of alpha males who are wrestling journalists and bodybuilding enthusiasts who happen to share bank accounts with their mothers. You know, I'm joking, he didn't say that, but he was like getting like overly defensive about it, like he shared a bank account with his mother. Not that there's anything wrong with sharing a bank account with your mother, because there isn't. I'm completely in favor of family helping family, because, you know, I don't know, man. Like, my mom's helped me. I've helped my mom. This is what you do, man. Like, Asian cultures, Italian cultures, like people help each other out, dude. So I'm like way up here. Can I just stay up here for the whole match and win? Hacking away on this thing over here. Heck, 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 heck. Someone's spectating me. What am I? Am I like stuck up here? Or should I not have like, you know, gone down there? Dude. We. Can I like jump off this thing? Oh, I guess I don't have a choice. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. All right, man. I probably should have just stayed up there, but you know. And Mexican culture too. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I really like America. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's a lot of awesome things about American culture. That said, the not the kind of disdain for multi generational cooperation, kind of like the looking down on it, is not cool at all. Um, you know, parents and children should help each other. And now you don't want to. You want people to, you know, be their best, and you know, parents shouldn't be smothering their children, and you know, and children should have, you know, be strong and be able to take care of themselves. But that doesn't mean that you don't cooperate with each other and help each other and have, you know, deep relationships with each other that include you know, just everything in terms, you know, both material and emotional. So yeah, I don't. I mean, I can definitely see situations where you know, parents can become overbearing and children can become too dependent, and like that's not healthy. But you can also find situations where people just kind of go out on their own and their lives are horrible. You know, they develop like drug problems and alcohol problems, and you know, they live in poverty. So that's certainly not better than having, you know, family relationships where you take care of each other. So, and also the idea too would be, you know, the parents take care of you when you're young, you take care of the parents when you're old. You know, that should be the way. So yeah. But I mean, I know it's like easier said than done too, right? Like, I mean, I mean, I don't want to over romanticize it because I've definitely seen situations where, you know, families become highly dysfunctional because, um, you know, they're basically they're all together, but they're unethical. You know, I mean, they're they're together, but they treat each other horribly. That's not a good situation. You know. So it's, you know, it's like with anything, it's all about finding a good balance of about finding a good balance of self-sufficiency and collective cooperation. Welfare and work ethic should not be at odds with each other. And that's something that I think needs to be learned in the United States. Oh, baby's crying. Is that Goku? You can see all these people like coming down on their parachutes. I don't know what that bodes for me. Do. Someone got eliminated with a rifle. Okay. And okay. Anything in here? Ooh, a gun. If I stay in here, can I just like dodge the storm? Someone eliminated So Sweaty 63. Okay, good deal. Do. Any food in this kitchen here? Can I open this fridge? Ooh, I hear gunshots. Stuff's going down. I got a shotgun. Don't want to stand here for too long, but at the same time, I always tell my students to go for the high ground. But you also want to not be out in the open either. Ooh, ammo. Someone's shooting at me. Anything in this outhouse here? It's the Flusher 9000. No, not this stupid ass storm. Ooh, it's a barbecue. I know it's cool to stream on CRTs, but I feel like this shows up better on the camera. I guess it depends, you know. Like streaming on um, the 27-inch CRT shows up well. There's like not a lot of people around, so I feel like I'm getting careless. But you know, that's you don't want anyone to get the drop on you, because you know that's always when you think you're safe. That's when something happens. Don't get cocky. One of the reasons I put the Xbox on that little TV, in addition to the fact that it makes the old games look nice, is because a lot of times Santino will play the Switch. Santino likes to play the stuff on the smart TV, so. And I do love my CRTs, so. Oh shit. No. Dude, oh man. I know, I'm like, I gotta outrun the storm. Yeah, there's nothing I could do, man. I was in the store, I couldn't get out, like. So, I don't know. I believe both Mexican and Italian people have a lot in common. I agree. We are both cultures of Latin descent, so a lot of the pros and cons we both have, you know. Actually, Spanish and Italian are very similar. My mom is a Spanish teacher. Well, my mom is an English teacher by trade, but she is fluent in Italian, and you know, in retirement, she wanted to keep teaching. So she kept substitute teaching, and she has now, for the second year in a row, found a long-term sub job, and she's actually teaching French and Spanish because she is proficient in French and fluent in Italian, and Spanish and Italian are very close. So basically, what she was able to do is she was able to take a couple Spanish courses in college, and from that become proficient enough in Spanish to be able to teach it to 7th and 8th graders. And that's because, you know, being fluent in Italian, you know, you learn enough Spanish to be able, you can pick up enough Spanish being fluent in Italian to get by. And with some college education on top of that, you can actually teach it to, you know, adolescents. I thought Italian is a mix between Spanish and French. Yeah, actually, yeah, you and the Italian dialects are they vary by region. You know, the closer you get to the south, the more Spanish is in the Italian. The closer you get to the north, you get more French influence. So. And I mean, you know, it makes sense because, you know, Napoleonic conquest, the Moorish conquest, you know, that kind of thing. So it's actually interesting. You know, there's similar north-south prejudices in America and Italy. There's kind of this idea that Southern Italians are stupid and backward, you know, and just like this idea that the Southern Americans are stupid and backward. And I mean, like, I mean, stereotypes have dimensions of truth to them, for sure. But they're also like way more complex, and you don't want to like look down and stereotype people. So, I mean, the biggest problem I think in America is like too many people look down on rural America. It's just to go, you're a bunch of stupid Trumpers, and you're all brainwashed by this orange malignancy, and why can't you be like us enlightened people in the city, us ubermensch, so and people see that and they're like, go fuck yourself. And I'm sorry I'm swearing so much. I'm just like, it's late and I don't care. So because I know I'll have like some of my students watch this, and I don't want them to be like, oh, Mr. Passery swore. But yeah, there's too much looking down on the common person. Actually, there's a really great British sitcom, Keeping Up Appearances, and it really kind of it has this like perfect class humor, where it's like, there's these upper class people that are just completely ridiculous and insane, and the husband has a horse fetish, the wife is miserable but like gets by, and they've got everything, so their minds just have kind of gone crazy. Then there's like the middle class family, which is where the main character Hyacinth is, and like she's in actuality, she's like basically like working class, but she's like constantly like running away from her working class family and trying to project the status of being upper class. And then there's the actual working class family members who are like just straight up slobs, but they actually have their shit, like they kind of are the most insightful out of all of them. And like the husband Onslow is this like he's this like he's this like fat slob, but he like watches like Open University and is actually like pretty smart, So it's very funny. Man, I got hurt from that. That sucks. So anyway, yeah, Keeping Up Appearances is a very intelligent show that people can learn a lot from. So, and the husband Richard is just like, of the middle class character Hyacinth. He's just like this, kind of very nice but ultimately castrated bureaucrat. Like, and like all these characters are just like played up to their just absurdities, and it's very very well done. So. Another good sitcom like that was Are You Being Served? And that was took place in a department store. And you got some really good class humor. It's like when the Soviet Union was around. I mean, definitely there were a lot of problems with it. I don't want to over romanticize anything, but the balance of the Soviet Union and the United States, with the Soviet Union's emphasis on socialism and class justice, and the United States' emphasis on individuality and freedom and prosperity, people on the outside looking at both of those, were kind of trying to formulate a third way, and it led to a lot of like really important insights and alternatives that really are kind of, I think, good and necessary. But now that the Soviet Union's gone, it's just everyone's just kind of, just it's just cosmopolitan hedonism. So I hear gunshots. I'm also hurt. Why am I hurt? I mean, I know why, because I fell off a freaking cliff or some nonsense here. Ooh, top 50. That's nice. This looks like I'm in upstate New York here. Nice foliage. Or as Marge Simpson would call it, foliage. Can I get hurt by this? Ooh, stuff. Ammo already full. Do 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 do. Where is it? Why can't I hit him? I really gotta learn how to aim better on this game. This guy's lucky I suck. I got him. Alright. Never give up, kids, no matter how bad your aim is. That's my third Fortnite kill. I need to get the hell out of here. No, 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 no! I can't run any faster. I'm trying to get out of the storm. I can't make it. I can see it like, oh man, it's too fast. Oh, that's how you aim right there. See? Ooh. Yeah. I could not run it. What about the Portuguese? What are my thoughts on Mikhail Gorbachev passing? Yeah, no, Portuguese too, man. Like, for sure. Like, I had a Spanish teacher in my high school, and she was actually, she spoke Portuguese. Portuguese was her native language. Not her native language. She was a native English speaker who was highly fluent in Portuguese. And Portuguese was close enough to Spanish that she could actually teach Spanish. But I do remember her telling us that a lot of the time she was like accidentally mixing in Portuguese and apologizing all the time because she was a missionary in Brazil and they speak Portuguese in Brazil. And actually her son was adopted Brazilian and is a really good friend of mine. I haven't seen him in a while, but we were pretty tight in high school. I was in his wedding. So yeah, for sure. My thoughts on Mikhail Gorbachev passing away. I think it's really sad. I think Mikhail Gorbachev was the best Russian leader of the 20th century. However, I say that not okay. I'm gonna put myself on camera for this here, because I'm gonna rant. Okay, so he was a bad leader in the sense that the empire collapsed under him. And I mean, obviously, your goal is to keep your country together, and he did not keep his country together. Okay. However, the reforms he was doing were in many ways necessary because, there was a kind of a malaise and a despair happening in the Soviet Union where people had achieved kind of a meager middle class living standard, but were in enough cases. But I think we're in a situation where, the politicians were corrupt. There was no end in sight to the corruption. People were wanting more, religious freedom and political freedom. There was still the brutal Siberian prison system, which was not Stalin's Siberia, but it was still, you were afraid to express yourself or your life could be in danger and you could be imprisoned and taken away from your family and isolated in Arctic temperatures. And he wasn't Street Fighter, which is another reason why Gorbachev was awesome. Um, you know, and I mean, I'm just saying this as someone on the outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, so anyway, why am I saying? I'm just trying to say like there was Gorbachev felt a need to reform things, in order to save the empire. Who's trying to reform things, and de Tocqueville has a saying that the hardest thing to do is to reform a corrupt system, because there's all these people that are out for it, and when you're in a moment of transition, you're in a moment of weakness, and people will exploit that weakness to get revenge on you. Like in jujitsu, when someone is like trying to get you in a hold, sometimes they're at an angle where they're in a transition position, and that is a weak spot for them that you can, sweep them on. So, and that's what happened with Gorbachev, is that he was trying to reform things, and he just had too many enemies. There were the hardliners in his own party that didn't like him because he threatened their security. There were the people that had been, exploited under Russia, who sensed an opportunity to get out of the Soviet Union. There were opportunistic scumbags like Boris Yeltsin, who saw Gorbachev as someone that he could get out of the way and put himself in a position of political power. So I mean, it was very difficult for Gorbachev. And I think had people listened to Gorbachev and kept the Union together but reformed it, Russia and Eastern Europe would be in an infinitely better place, because they would have political stability, and they would also have better diplomatic relationships with the West. And what you have now is a situation, obviously, where you have, with the collapse of the Soviet Union, the people who were culturally more aligned with the Russian Soviet way of things, and then the ethnic groups that have strong nationalistic tendencies, then those tendencies were brutally suppressed under the Soviet Union. And the geopolitical enemies of Russia have sought to exploit those divisions, and corrupt Russian politicians and corrupt politicians in the former Soviet countries, they do their own things to make things worse, and it's a mess. So if Gorbachev had been listened to, and people had, opted for a version of the Soviet Union that was more like Northern Europe, we'd all be better off. They'd be better off. Everyone would be better off. But instead, the empire broke up under him, and he kind of, died very unpopular, because I think a lot of Russians just saw him as, he was the guy that took them from the second most prestigious empire that the world ever knew to, it all fell apart. And it's their fault, because they didn't listen to him. Gorbachev didn't dissolve the Soviet Union, just said, hey, you're all free. They all left him, and then he was a leader without a country. That's what happened. So I like Gorbachev, and I think he represented, he was trying to get that third way to be a way to reform and heal a lot of the problems in the Soviet Union. Because I remember hearing him say to some Soviet leaders, he's like, if we don't enact these reforms, everything that we have achieved will go away. Now the irony of that is that enacting the reforms caused everything to go away. But it's kind of like you're damned if you're doing, damned if you don't kind of thing, you know. Like if he maintains the hard line, he's a corrupt tyrant, and you know the problems persist. If he tries to fix things, then people will, you know, attack. He's like, it's like Alexander the Second. You know, the czar who freed the serfs gets assassinated. You know, because people want a strong leader, and if the corrupt system has a leader that's not perceived as strong, then that even if the leader is trying to fix the system, despite the system, they will go after the leader, even if he's trying to save it and trying to make it better for people. And I think that's what happened with Gorbachev, and I think it's awesome that he lived as long as he did, and I'm sad that he's dead. And I grew up liking Gorbachev as a child. I always thought he was cool. You know, I was around for the end of the Soviet Union. I remember I was like 7 when it collapsed, and I just remember all the bullshit on, you know, the hyper romanticization of Boris Yeltsin, and I mean, you saw what kind of a leader he was. I mean, Gorbachev brought a lot of democratization to Russia, and Yeltsin just like rolled all that shit back, and um, you know, and he was a horrible leader. He was a puppet of the United States, and you know, and it's because of Boris Yeltsin that you ended up with Vladimir Putin, and now you have what you have with Putin. You know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And right now it's ugly. So yeah, that's my take on Gorbachev. And like I said, I'm just some guy living in the United States who has benefited from the prosperity and freedom of the United States. And I know that one of the reasons that Russia collapsed is because there was a sense that there was an over romanticization of the United States. They wanted what we had, and I mean, they got some of it and didn't get a lot of it, you know. So I don't know, man. It's one of the reasons the United States has what it has is because we've got a good constitution. But then another reason the United States has what it has is because we take too much of the world's resources, and that puts us in an unfair advantage over other people. So I don't know. There's something to be said for the stereotype of Star Trek, where it's like the Federation is just a strong, successful force for good that just kind of doesn't interfere with people's stuff. You know, don't break the Prime Directive. So, but defend yourself and your friends at the same time. So. But, you know, you can't start a fight and then say, I'm defending my friend if you're the one that helps start the fight, too. So, yeah, I don't know. That's imperialism 101, that bullshit tactic. So, I don't know. That's my thoughts on that. Okay, I'm going to sip some coffee. And you guys okay with me playing Fortnite, or you want me to play something else? I'll do whatever you guys want. I don't care. I've got the PlayStation Mini on that little PVM in the back. There's always the option for inappropriate rock, paper, scissors, which I have on there. Although we can't win too many rock, paper, scissors, or else I will end up getting a legitimate strike on the channel. So, you know, it's too bad Arrow's not here. I agree, Gorbachev was the last great Soviet leader. He was not only the last great Soviet leader, he was just the last Soviet leader, too. You can still play Fortnite, but Mini is good, too. How about this? We do one more Fortnite, and then we'll do some Mini, okay? All right. Let's play some more Night 4. More Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Which, okay, so I have Shredder's Revenge, and so I've got the Xbox going here. So, you know, I've got Shredder's Revenge on the Xbox, and then I've also got the Cowabunga collection on the PS4. So, you know, both are nice. So, which do you prefer? If we move on to some Ninja Turtles, Cowabunga collection or Shredder's Revenge? Because they both have their merits. Also, Gorbachev was in a good Pizza Hut commercial. Okay. if you want a 80s arcade experience as it was in 1989, the Cowabunga collection is really good for that. If you want a really, really good 2D side-scrolling fighting game, like beat 'em up, there is arguably nothing better than Shredder's Revenge. So I don't know. Like you'd have to take like Shredder's Revenge is like, hey, let's make the best side-scrolling 2D beat 'em up and release it now. And the Cowabunga collection is just a very good collection of Ninja Turtles games that are 2D. So, so we'll I don't know. We'll think about that. The beat 'em up one. Okay, Shredder's Revenge. All right. Okay, we'll do some more Fortnite. Maybe we'll dabble in some Shredder's Revenge, and we'll get some PlayStation Mini going here. Let me just peek my head around the corner and see what time it is here. It's like 12:30. I gotta like get unlost in Resident Evil 2. It's hard to play RPGs during the school year, though. I'll tell you right now, tomorrow I'm gonna be grading papers, like, cause I got Columbus Day off. So after TMT, play some more Mini. I will do that, dude. I was playing some Street Fighter 03 today. Man, the game never gets old. Do. There's a commercial in the background for Miho Nakayama's Tokimeki High School. I really, really, really wish someone would translate that game into English. That is like a dating sim that I really, really want to play. Because I love the Famicom disk system. And I really like 80s Japanese culture, and I like Miho Nakayama, so it really is the best of everything. Actually, if you watch Kenny Lauderdale's last live stream, I kind of popped in it for a while, and we kind of had a little back and forth. It was pretty cool. Because he was saying how he didn't want to stream his Japanese VHS tapes because of the frontal nudity that was present in 80s Japanese television. And I was like, well, I said I stream my international channel tapes, and he's like, yeah, that's cool, but it's like, you know what's on them. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna come. He's like saying like, he's afraid he's gonna like pop in a tape and like, you know, get in trouble with YouTube because there's accidental nudity on them. The worst I get is I get the occasional Girls Gone Wild commercial, and they edit that stuff out. So you know. We gonna chop down this tree. Do ice tree, ice tree. Ooh, someone's treehouse. Chopping down the treehouse. Do. Chop. You know what? Like, do you remember the game that I have on the Switch that's kind of like a battle royale game, but it's like girls in bikinis with water guns? It's not bad, but it's like kind of cheaply made. I really want to play some visual novels. Like, I need to do that. Like, I need to just get my Switch Lite and get on the couch and play. You know, my thing is I love monitors so much, and Santino always ends up using the Switch because the whole thing is like I ended up using like Santino likes to use the TV Switch, when he plays the Switch, and I end up using the Switch Lite. But I love relaxing in the game room with my monitors because I don't know, I just have this thing where I like monitors. So, you know, I mean they're not on all the time, so I shouldn't be really. I don't think I'm absorbing any like dangerous radiation. So. Do I have any guns? Ooh, a car. No, sorry, I didn't mean that. Ooh, let's drive. Dee 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 dee. So I was talking to one of my students. He's a big Fortnite enthusiast, and I was saying like I wanted a gaming chair for the game room because I have a pretty bitchin' game room. And by pretty I mean extremely. Um, and uh, like he's like, well, you know, they have gaming toilets. I was like, that is never going to happen. That is a line that I will not cross, and no one should cross. You know, I am someone who loves video games more than most. Okay, but I'm also someone who appreciates the importance of being in, you know, having a physical side to things. Okay, and having range. You know, both with your social relationships and athletic ability. Um, and a gaming toilet is not going to help that balance in your life. You know, it's dude. I mean, like, there's literally a saying like, "Don't shit where you eat." I mean, like, you're literally not only shitting where you eat, but where you relax too. Like, you know, if I'm coming into the game room, I don't want to be next to like a pile of poop. You know, I just it's not okay. You know, I mean, I change diapers. Like, you know, I'm okay with that. I'm gonna hop out of the car here. Can I? How do I get out of this thing here? Ooh, there we go. Okay. Ooh, Molotov cocktail. Nice. Throw it, throw it, throw it. Get rid of it. Okay, I'm blobified. Is that gonna help me now that I'm blobified? Ooh, a gun. That's nice. Ooh, assault rifle. Not enough ammo. Ooh, top 50. Ooh, another gun. Can I just like hide under this bridge like a common hobo? Like, and I don't mean that in like a condescending way either. Like, it seems like a pretty good strategy. Maybe I could meet some hobo friends, learn some hobo recipes, some secret hobo spices. Where you at? Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I'm a blob. Wee. Come, my fish friends. Let's start our own wonderful world. Under the sea, under the sea, under the sea. No, 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 no. Get away, get away, get away, get away, get away. No, 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 no. There's that stupid thing that was after me. Oh, shit. I need ammo. I don't have any ammo. I'm trying to outrun the stupid eye of the storm here. Oh, great. Yes, yes, darn it. I think someone sniped me, but there's nothing I could do, man. I didn't have any ammo. So, alright, well. I had to get out of that storm and needed some ammo, so I don't know. You know, I'm probably not playing this game very well. I'm enjoying myself, but you know. I've killed a few guys and I mean I haven't cracked the top 20 this evening, but you know, it is what it is, so. I'm watching this guy drink water badly. Is this the guy that eliminated me? This guy who doesn't know how to freaking drink? Okay. Let's see if I have enough to allocate to anything in terms of that anime skin. So should I play the PS Mini first or the Ninja Turtle game first? So. Claim 35 more rewards. Okay, okay. Buy a bundle of 25 levels at a reduced price for 150 what do I need? I don't even know how much more I need. So, I don't even know how many stars I have. So, claim all. Why to claim all? Can I do this here? Get V-Bucks. Not enough to get to level 60, not enough to unlock page 7. I have 100 V-Bucks. Do. Who the hell would pay $80? Ah, whatever, man. I'm done. I'm done for now. All right. Well, that was fun. We'll for that later. Whichever one. TMNT. TMNT. Okay, we're playing TMNT. Okay. TMNT. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I have got a lot of cool games on this Xbox here. And a lot of them are Japanese games, you know. It's kind of sad that Xbox One doesn't sell well in Japan. considering all the good games they have for it that are Japanese. This game needs to be online. What? I was just online. What? What the hell is going on here? Go to settings? No, that's my store. Dude, I was just online. I was playing Fortnite. What are you talking about? Where's my settings? I can't even remember how to find my settings on this here. Settings. I'm online. The hell? What's going on here? TV and display options. My TV supports 4K. Your TV does not support 10 HDR10. I don't even know what that is. Whatever, I don't know. Calibrate TV. Okay, whatever. Video fidelity and overscan. Auto latency low mode. Anyway, none of this is what I need. I don't know why it's not letting me play Ninja Turtles. Because I was clearly online, because that's an online game that I was just playing. Well, if nothing else, we can take a look at this nice artwork here. And if nothing else, we can always just turn on the PlayStation 4 and play the Cowabunga collection. How many mini arcades do I have? I mean, I have the arcade 1-up. So I only have one of those. I've thought about getting more. I really have. I just don't have room for it. You know. I mean, I'd have to move something out of the game room, and I don't want to do that. I've got, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, okay, I have 10 monitors in this room. Some of them are used more than others, you know? Neo Geo International. That'd be great. Oh, no, yeah, no, I have that. I have that one. I have the Neo Geo Mini International Edition. Oh, I would like to get the Taito Egret. And I'd like to get the Sega Astro Mini. So I'd like, I would like to get those other two. So I've only got one. I have a little Miss Pac-Man arcade cabinet that I just got at Walgreens. You know, it's nothing special, but it's cool. I'm gonna be Casey Jones. They really need to make a new Streets of Rage game like this. And they really need to make an X-Men game like this, too. Especially with X-Men 97 coming out. Which who knows how that's going to be. Yeah, take that, foot soldier. Do 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 do. Alright, dodged all those. Pizza. Come on, Casey. Casey Jones is always a cool guy. You know, I always watched Ninja Turtles in syndication. I never really watched it. I know it was on CBS in the mornings, but I was always a Fox Kids guy, so. You know, I believe there was like kind of like the power block on CBS, which for me was Channel 5, was yeah, like Ninja Turtles and Wildcats, which is a cool combo. But it's just hard to compete with X-Men and Power Rangers, you know. Do 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 do. Oh, come on, come on. It's a nice, you know, entertainment center they got there in the background. Can't tell if that's an entertainment center or one of those like wooden TV sets that they'd put in living rooms in the 80s. Whee! So I was more of a monitor guy. Just like look at the JCPenney's catalog and like drool over these like white TVs that were basically doubling as computer monitors. Like growing up, my mom had this like JCPenney's catalog and it was like in my room. And like the JCPenney catalog in the 80s was like, dude, I mean, it was like awesome. I mean, it was like before they had like the internet. It was like basically like a Bible of like consumer goods of the 80s. And they had some really cool electronics and like Marvel action figures and He-Man and just everything, man. Cool 80s clothes. One of the catalogs has like Kathy Ireland in it before she was famous. Not that I'm spending a lot of time ogling the women's nightwear section or anything like that, you know. Absolutely not, you know. Woo. Do 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 do. Come on, get off me. It's like Yoshi if he was evil and a robot. Oh, here we go. Shredder couldn't beat the Ninja Turtle, so he made his own robot Ninja Turtle, which I will fell right now. Oh, he's got his force field. Am I gonna have to pull out all the stops here? Get off me. Did some damage right there. That did it.
Now, the turtles are my friends. Stomp Rush. Jump outside.
There we go. Casey Jones sounded gloomy in the 80s one. Do you remember Ninja Turtle cereal? Not only do I remember Ninja Turtle cereal, I had the Ninja Turtle cereal box with like the hologram on it. And I remember my mom like tried to tape it onto one of my shirts because I wanted it like on my shirt. And I'm watching a commercial in the background, and like Downtown was advertising a video game like Machan and Hamachan. Yeah, dude. No, I remember the Ninja Turtle cereal. So, what is this game? This game looks like pretty interesting here. Something for the Super Famicom. Is this Street Fighter? Yeah, this is Ryu right here. Is that the guy who plays Sawada?
Fighting action game Street Fighter 2 Super Famicom で好評発売中
Capcom. I gotta find that song. That's a good song. All right. We'll take a break, grab a quick snack, and then we'll play some PlayStation Mini. Oh man, it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I got church tomorrow. Cowabunga, absolutely. Yeah. Not that I really need to be eating at like 12:57, but I'll be like CM Punk and eat like bakery goods and yell at people. So, like this is from the East Side Bakery, Cortland's best bakery. So, like the Young Bucks, they couldn't manage a target. So anyway, 90s American commercials for video games were a bit weird in a good way. Yeah, they were. They were great. Okay. Let's try to get our phone set up here. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna have to lower this a little bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those guys all had good commercials. All right, good. That's a pretty good angle. Okay. On you go. And on you go. Oh. Turn the volume up. Okay. Just trying to straighten that out a little bit here. I'm gonna turn the brightness down a little on this here. Sorry, hang on. No, it's a little better. -6. What should we play? Gundam the Battle Master, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Marvel vs. Capcom's always a good one. Pepsi Man, Ranma, Kenshin, Rival Schools, Street Fighter EX. Time Gal is very difficult. Vampire Savior, Yakugan Special. Biohazard, Dead or Alive. I've got the actual Dead or Alive. That plays right. There's some JoJo. Play game or rarely play? I don't really like the way this game... I don't like the way this monitor is getting along with this phone. We'll do a couple matches on JoJo here. Rival Schools. You want to put some Rival Schools? We can do that. We'll do a match on JoJo, then we'll do some Rival Schools. I'm going to turn the light off in the other room. Enjoy the attract mode here. Why is some of this like going off the edge? Oh, you know why? Because I've probably got this in like 16:9. That's not unsettling at all. Midler, Vanilla Ice. Hey, Pornolef. Oh, that's evil Pornolef.
HQA の旅の途中、ポルナレフはリオの手下のスタンド部隊と戦い勝利した。その敵が持っていた狂気の刀をポルナレフは手にした。その時、この刀、近くで見るとすげえ美しいぜ。抜いてみるか。抜いた剣に触ったやつを操れる。
Oh no. Pornolef has turned evil. I knew this Pornolef. So we'll fight Jotaro and then we'll play some rival schools.
Make up mine. Why?
This is a very, very good game. I actually would like to download the new version of All-Star Battle for the new consoles. I'll fight Iggy, and then we'll play rival schools. Iggy's probably gonna be hard to fight because he's so small. Oh, got him. Man, Black Pornolef is pretty tough. Okay. Joseph is my favorite, so. Rival schools, rival schools.
Game creative style. Wolf Team.
Trying to get this so like that's not like running off the screen here. Music, widescreen. No, it's, sorry. I don't know if that made that better or worse, but there we go. Do. This is absolutely my favorite 3D fighting game, Rival Schools. So this is the Japanese version of Rival Schools 2. Have I ever heard of Mio Mini? Possibly. I don't think, not off the top of my head. If you describe it, it might ring a bell. This is a slightly different version of the opening credits here. These guys were included in the sequel for Dreamcast. The Mio Mini looks like a Game Boy but smaller, and it has emulators and ROMs on it. Oh, interesting. It even has PS1 ROMs. That is very cool. I wonder if Retro Zoltan has reviewed that. The guy who actually hacked my PS Mini has an awesome YouTube channel and he stops by the streams sometimes. He actually watches the streams too. The guy who hacked up my PS1 and my Mini and my Famicom Gold. He has lots of great reviews of handhelds. Trying to see which one's the arcade here. I think this has got to be the arcade right here, I think. Let's do Sakura and Batsu. Do. Just kind of laying out all the stuff. The loading screens on this game were just phenomenal.
Round 1, fight!
So I am the Sakura with the dark dress. I don't need to play. This screen formatting is not great here on this monitor. I saw this monitor was like in the basement, and like it fit this corner slot better than the white VGA monitor. And I paid money for this. I actually got this imported, not imported. I got this delivered, and it's a nice Trinitron, but it's only got S video. So I'm running like an S video to HDMI connector on it. Sakura is one of your all-time favorite characters. Yes, Sakura is awesome. I love Sakura. Shinku Hadoken. How did he block that? Oh no, come on, baby. Come on. We're going with Sakura again.
Final round! Fight!
It would be really cool if Dragon Ball Final Bout was made with this game's engine. There we go. The emulation on this game is good, however, once in a while the sound gets a little scratchy. I'll lower that brightness a little more. Do. I love when you like hit at the same time how it you get that lightning effect. Yeah, I gotta get out of that one. There we go. We'll mix it up and put in some Batsu.
Round 2, fight!
Oh, that wasn't good. Or like, I think one time I had rival schools, and like, my friend was always like very competitive with like video games. So it was like, since I had rival schools, he's like, "Oh, the game's not good because I don't have it," you know. And then, I mean, like, he ended up playing it and loving it, but anyway, I remember him saying, like, making fun of the fact that it was like a high school game for Capcom, trying to say that like, he plays like Ryu in high school, but he had acne. Anyway, I found that very funny. So. Who would win, Batsu or Cody? Batsu. Because Batsu's got projectiles. I think Cody might be a better fighter, but good luck getting around those giant Dragon Ball style energy blasts, you know? I like Cody, though. Kenny Omega played a great Cody in the commercial for his debut for Street Fighter V. Come on. I don't quite have it. There we go. Cody does throw rocks. And he also is really good with a knife. Maybe his knife could slice through the energy blasts.
Round 2, fight!
Photographer girl. Hold the terror of her camera. Yeesh. Get out of this way. Oh, what? I want a rematch. Feel my burning vigor. No. Like that. Like this one here. There we go. That's some beautiful artwork right there.
Round 1, fight!
I love the music at this level. Uh-oh. Oof. Ah. That was too out of range, darn it. We're gonna get a rematch out of that here. Come on, dude. Yeesh. Nothing beats a good old-fashioned Hadouken. He can't break the combo. He had like no health though. No, you win this round. But the soul still burns. Since International Channel 4 Life is on the stream and he gave me a Tiffany action figure, we're going to have Tiffany in the mix here. Will you ever do another video with the comic book store? Yeah, actually I was there today. And I was talking with the guy about how I'm going to have a kind of a solo con in December. And I bought, I don't know if you can see it. You can't see it right now. Yeah. I've got Tiffany on deck here, man. And you gave me that cool Tiffany action figure, so. Yes, you are welcome. Thank you very much. Yeah, sometimes I wonder, what if Cammy had a giant set of boxing gloves and is from America instead of England? No! There we go. Need to level up my moves here. Ah, man, I was going for my super move right there. We're in a rematch. I'm not that good with Tiffany, but we'll get better. You know, for somebody who wears like boxing gloves, she has a lot of slow, awkward punches here. I didn't mean to do that. That was not good. Get that. Come on. There we go. Exciting. Well, the prolonged fight actually was to our benefit because the music in that level is just phenomenal. So. Oh, there's another one. Another level with a banger of a theme here. There we go. There we go. Get out of the way of that. Hey, my friends on the Eastern time zone, what time is it? I'm assuming it's getting kind of late. Move! He's gonna get it first, or cancel it out. Come on, hit him. There we go. In California, it's 10:25. What is that? Like one? Is that 2:25 here or 1:25? It's 1:25 on my end. All right. Well, as long as it's not 2, that's okay. Kickoff. After this fight, we might want to do some international channel tapes. I don't remember this level. Like, even from... I wonder if this got cut from the American version. That one kid seems to love the Speedo, man. Because I like Far Out Adventures with magic powers. But I also like a TV show that's down to earth with real life problems. You should also win things by watching. Aw, oh, come on.
Final round. Fight.
I like how he's able to like simulate water. It's actually really cool. Might go down. There we go. Well, I redeemed myself. The only way I'll play this is if it's the last level. I think it's the last level. Okay. I have to beat these guys with a team-up move to get Hio. Go down. Darn it. You ever wonder what Ryu did after Street Fighting? You're looking at it right here. Say, listen, I'm tired of doing the starving artist thing. I need a stable job. So he became a high school teacher. Darn it. Ah. All right. We are going to take a break from the Project of Justice right here. And we will check out some international channel tapes. And then we will go night-night. Oh, man. I really probably should not have been on my knees for that entire segment. Oh, okay. Woo. Hella. Ooh, Chrono Trigger commercial. Okay, good stuff. Okay, let me adjust my camera here a little bit here. That guy played the bus driver in that in one of the international channel dramas, if memory serves me correctly. It's called gosh darn it, something Love Affair or something. I don't know. It was some dude who was a bus driver. There was some, I think he had like a rich girlfriend or something. There was some love triangle, as there always is. Anyway. Kakarato. Were there any other RPGs you beat besides Chrono Trigger? Oh yeah, I've beaten a ton of RPGs. Xenogears, Threads of Fate, Star Ocean 2, Radical Dreamers, Tales of Fantasia, Dragon Quest, Dragon Quest 4, Dragon Quest 5, Final Fantasy 4, Final Fantasy 6. You know, I've been getting like notifications that like playing like the openings to Dragon Ball will sometimes get us like blocked in Japan or something like that, which is like really dumb because like an increasing percentage of my audience is Japanese. Like seriously, like I get my sub count is like it's getting pretty steady. Like I'm almost at 1,500, and I think a lot of my views are coming from Japan because I get a lot of comments on like my TM Revolution hey 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 video. I get lots of comments on Easy Come Easy Go. Not enough to play RPGs in this live stream, so you usually fight the final boss. Yes. Oh, you're talking about like in my live streams have I played RPGs? Hmm. Yeah, I keep losing to Lavos, and I've beaten Sephiroth. I mean, yeah, if you have, I'm down. My only problem with playing RPGs is sometimes I get tired reading, and you know, then I'll have to like perk myself up with international channel tapes and coffee, which is what I'm drinking right now and watching right now. Oh no, it's evil forms of the characters in Majin Buu. I always like that picture right there.
I'm 80 years old and I
Here you go, international channel. It's your favorite commercial.
I'm one of 110 million people in the country who thought I'd have to wear glasses or contacts for the rest of
Dude,
my
I'm
life.
waiting on a pair of glasses. I should hurry up and get here.
There is another alternative. Are you tired of having to get stronger prescriptions year after year as your eyes get weaker and weaker? I know I was. I wanted out of my glasses, but not through surgery. I didn't think it was possible until I discovered a powerful program called
the See Clearly method.
Just minutes a day, I'm seeing better, and my son Sean is completely out of his glasses.
I can finally see without glasses.
Don't eliminate or reduce your need for glasses and contacts in 30 days. They will refund your money, guaranteed. So call today for a free video that introduces the power of the See Clearly method without...
Nah, dude, I like my glasses.
so I don't need to wear glasses. I can pass the DMV driver's test.
It has definitely improved my vision.
The following program is rated TV-PG. Viewer discretion is advised.
In Poland, on St. Andrew's Night, girls foretell their marriage prospects by pouring hot melted wax into a bowl of cold water. When they hold the hardened wax up to the light, the shadow reveals their fortune.
Nice. Many girls were terrified when my face formed in the wax, so, this is the Slayers, and there's, in all likelihood, no way I can show this opening without getting into trouble, so... Do. Slayers, it's some good stuff right there. Megumi Hayashibara, she had some really, really good music. Alright, let's fast forward this here. Ooh, TV Japan. Ooh, viewer survey. Get that long and try again. You have increasingly more fans in Japan, but that Bees fan who's harassing you counts as like 5 fans per person. That's right. That's absolutely right. I just blocked him. I blocked him on YouTube and I blocked him in my email. Because the dude was like emailing me. It's like, dude, what the hell? I mean, it's like he was crazy or something. Like, I kept telling him, like, I can't do it. It's not working. And he would just keep telling me the same thing over and over again. I'm like, dude, it doesn't work. I can't do it. I've tried. Stop talking to me. I mean, I gave that dude, like, way more time a day than he deserved. And, I mean, I couldn't tell if it was a troll. I think the person is probably like mentally unstable, or just really thinks that, or is a kid and doesn't understand anything.
Red thing on my face. My grandkids kept staring at.
I'm gonna like slightly adjust this here. Hang on a second. Sorry about that, guys.
Do you have redness
Just gonna try to boost up my camera a little bit here.
Millions of people have without realizing it.
Kind of like you with the Game Boy song. Yeah, exactly. Except I'm not like, you know, harassing people. But I really need to find that song. It's driving me insane. I mean, I will lurk in bushes to find that song. So I tell you, the closest lead I got was that I sent an Instagram comment to Miki Yoshino, who did the He the Fighter song from that Kentoshi anime that Kenny Lauderdale was showing. And I said, did you do that song? And he liked the comment. So I don't know what that means. You know, like, because I had said, I know you did He the Fighter. Did you also do this? And he just liked it. And I was like, what? So, I mean, it's a lead. It's something, so. Not for glory, but to stand for what he believes. Hot spring scene. Slayers kind of had the same aesthetic as fighting the beat 'em up on Sega Saturn, Guardian Heroes. Slayer stuff might be blocked after this stream is over. I'm not showing very much of it. It's
Before
just
I could get the cat back on the jar, the pain was gone.
Introducing the amazing Super Blue Stuff for the relief of all
Super
kinds of
Blue
arthritis,
Stuff.
sciatic nerve and lower back pain, as well as shingles, carpal tunnel
we
pain,
killed
and so
Smurfs
much more.
and put them
Facts,
into
Ultimate
this
EQ oil is the secret
put
to
them
unlock
into
the
this
power of
mason
Super
jar.
Blue Stuff, delivering a perfect
Oh, pure
balance of
emu
fast
oil.
relief aloe
They
vera,
killed
herbs,
emus.
and MSM down to the third layer of skin.
It works, believe me. It's my miracle jar. This is what I call it, and I keep it very handy.
And we've got what everybody calls as a miracle. They can't believe it. I still can't believe it after using it on over 100,000 people. And I'm telling you, folks,
He is the
this
founder of
product
Super
is
Blue
the most
Stuff.
amazing product you'll ever use, and it's guaranteed money back if it don't satisfy you.
And listen to this. With your order, we will include 5 free samples of Blue Stuff to share with family members or loved ones suffering with pain. And that's
I have
not
no
all. By
recollection of
calling
this
right now
product,
to
and
order Super
I
Blue,
have
we
seen a
will
lot
also
of
send you 5
international
free samples
channel
of other
commercials.
fabulous Blue Stuff
I do not
products.
remember
Use
Super
your
Blue
credit
Stuff.
card Or send $39.95 plus shipping and handling.
I think that guy was
to the
Dr.
store.
Eggman,
Or you can
and like we're living in a dark
www.bluestuff.com.
future where Sonic was captured and killed
This
and processed into Super Blue
Free
Stuff.
samples can be yours for only $39.95. Call now and order Super Blue
I'm
Stuff.
skeptical of these customer testimonials. Well, at first I was skeptical, but then I tried Super Blue Stuff, and you know, it was good. It was great. I mean, I never leave home without my Super Blue Stuff. It's really helped me, you know, with my aches and pains, my fibromyalgia. Nothing but like a good old international channel tape watching. Yes, yes, indeed. I'm averting the camera from the Slayers so we don't get into trouble. Although it's fast forwarding, so I don't think it should get us. I don't think it should be too bad. So, yeah, for some reason, Slayers and Lost Universe, man. Yeah, that's I Lost Universe is what it hurt Kenny, and I wasn't trying to I say like, well, how come I get in trouble for Lost Universe and he doesn't, and then he did, So, what do we got? Is this the end of the tape? I think so. Yep, that's the end of it. Okay, what do we got here? I'm like looking in a drawer. You can always watch another segment of Ninja Destroyer right here. Okay. Char's counterattack. I've shown that one before. I've got more tapes. I'm just looking in this drawer that's like right on hand here. Votom's season finale. Let's check out this. You know what else I had to cut out was the Power of Love opening in some of these streams. It's really weird. I don't know. It's a great song. Boom.
今はそうですよ。
今の収録してんのドラマの。
してます。
あ、そうなんや。ほなもう今日も買ったってしゃあないじゃんけ。
今日もですから撮影は朝の5時。
So, I haven't seen Hamada recently, but I know Machan has got like dyed blonde hair and has gotten some muscles. And one of my comments on my videos from a Japanese commenter, which I translated into English with Google Translate, was like, it's on a hey 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 video. He's like both of them before they did muscle training.
33です。あんまり見えないですよね。そうですよ。
20？お前それ言い過ぎやろ。お前誰やろ。どいつや。しばくぞほら。結婚は？
結婚は。
So back in the day, I think it's probably about like 2004, 2005. I had my mom make me an iron-on T-shirt with the Hey 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 Music Champ logo, and sadly, I wore that T-shirt while I had artificial tan on, because I was like, oh, I'll look cool with like artificial tan. I'll like look all tan like a pro wrestler. And long story short, I got artificial tan all over that shirt, even though like the tanning stuff said, oh, it won't come off on your clothes. Yeah, that's a lie. So that Hey 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 shirt got all like messed up with like artificial tanner on it and stuff. So it's gone now, and I've yet to have another Hey 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 Music Champ T-shirt, and I need to somehow find another one or make another one. So. Will you ever do another video with Peter? I would love to. Peter and I were actually just kind of chatting the other day about that. He, he lives in a city about 30 minutes north of me, but his dad lives in town, so, it's definitely possible when he comes to visit his dad to kind of set something up.
It is with this special television offer from America's #1 Christmas artist, Mannheim Steamroller. Be the first to order the newest release, Mannheim Steamroller's Christmas.
Mannheim Steamroller is actually my stand, and basically what it does is it very slowly drives toward you while shooting Christmas ornaments in your eyes. Yeah, it's pretty powerful. It will materialize out of anything that's red and green. So you know, it's got some ways that it can catch you. It's pretty brutal.
Holiday music. That's 2 CDs for the price of 1. Plus, when you call right now, get free shipping and handling. Call the number on your screen to order.
But yeah, Peter and I, we had a lot of fun playing games.
Viewer discretion is advised.
In rural areas of Korea, most villages have a guardian to ward off evil spirits, and offerings are made throughout the year to ensure good crops and protection from disease.
Gotcha. Fuji Terebi.
There's Dragon Ball GT. Dun dun Kokoro dun. Well, I don't know if we're gonna get in trouble for showing this or not. Sometimes like GT will like get the stream blocked, which is ridiculous because it's not canon, you know. So it's like, who cares? So, but I don't know. You know, it's funny. Like everyone like bitched about Dragon Ball GT, and rightly so, because they did not do justice to a lot of the established characters. But when Super came out, you know, then all of a sudden, like, people to be contrarian, maybe there were some genuine GT fans too. People were like, oh, GT's like better than Super, and it's like, GT is not better than Super. Like, it's not even close. Super is way better than GT. Super actually feels like the Dragon Ball manga. Like, Dragon Ball GT is cool, but like, the problem with Dragon Ball GT is just like they came up with a half-assed scenario, didn't think out the consequences of how it would play out, wrote themselves into a corner, and just kind of padded it out with some really nice music and good animation for television, and then they just kind of like shoehorned an ending into it, and you know, basically coasted on the prestige of the Dragon Ball name. So, you know, there's Dragon Ball GT. But the big problem with GT was they just did not know how to utilize characters that weren't Goku, Pan, and Vegeta. Trunks was well taken care of in the early days. GT had the best. GT had amazing credits. The credits on Dragon Ball GT were beautiful. And the animation was great too. Yeah, the aesthetics of GT were phenomenal, and you know, I didn't mind the Grand Tour stuff. I mean, it was a little slow sometimes, you know, and then once they kind of shifted it to be more like Dragon Ball Z, they really needed to be able to utilize characters that weren't Goku. Like, it was just everyone was like, you know. It's just like everyone was just worthless except for Goku, Vegeta, and Pan.
Blocker, and its topical physician's formulation stops DHT from attacking your hair follicles and starts regrowing hair in balding areas. Avocor is safe and effective. In 6 years of use by tens of thousands of people.
Come on, dude, just shave your head. Shave your head and grow some stubble.
We guarantee it.
Join the tens of thousands of satisfied
I'm not also I'm not also the president, but I'm also a client.
Call 800-758-1981. Now you can use Avocor risk-free for 1 full year. It's guaranteed.
I think I'm gonna fall asleep to some amazing discoveries infomercials. That sounds like a good idea.
1981.
Those infomercials with that guy with the sweater. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. They should have had Bra and Goten and Goku be the GT crew. It would have made much more sense. It would have paralleled the Goku Bulma Yamcha dynamic. And, yeah, it just would have absolutely worked better. Because, you know, Bulma and Yamcha, like, flirted. There was, like, romantic tension there. But, like, I mean, there would be good romantic tension with Bra and Goten, but Pan is too little. Or at least the way they draw her is too little. So, plus Pan's personality doesn't sync up with Bulma's. You know, Bra is Bulma. Imagine having John Tesh or John Denver on your stand. This is the part with the episode previews, yes. My stand is John Tesh. It basically just throws a lot of new wave crystals on you and then tells you celebrity gossip. That's what it does. That's my stand. It's called John Tesh, and it's very powerful.
But OxyClean is the only brand I trust in my laundry. Not only did it remove the stain completely without
it's a robot with fishnet stockings and thigh boots. So that's what my stand is.
Power of OxyClean and the convenience of a wipe. For life's little accidents, they're the best. Take them everywhere. OxyClean.
It's wearing a gladiator helmet too, so you know.
Try OxyClean.
I'm sure glad I did.
Call this number and you'll receive our famous 6-pound tub of OxyClean, the squirt bottle, and the super chamois.
I have to see the rest of Stone Ocean still. I really would like it if they had Giorno pop in and just totally screw up the ending to the series.
OxyClean is for a limited time only, so call toll free 1-888-566-6899.
I mean, I know they probably won't do that to protect the dignity of the manga, but you know, they could. They could just say screw it and go in their own direction. People on the internet used to say that the Toei Yu-Gi-Oh! Was not paid enough attention to in terms of its production because of all the effort that would be put into Dragon Ball GT. Because, you know, Dragon Ball GT is like Dragon Ball, and Dragon Ball is like the big franchise, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just starting out, you know. The Toei Yu-Gi-Oh! is great, and it really did a nice job of, you know, telling the story of like the early parts of the manga that were not card-based, because I read Yu-Gi-Oh! In Shonen Jump, and, you know, when it first came out, like, in America in, like, 2003, you know, the card stuff was, like, not in there for, like, months. And actually, not that I dislike the cards, because I don't. The cards are perfectly fine, but when it was just about different games, I thought that there was a lot more interesting storytelling. The card stuff was cool and all that, but I just was never into it as much as when it was just random games that reflected the soul of the criminal, you know, that Yugi was bringing to justice, kind of thing. I miss Billy Mays. He will always be iconic. Yes, I agree. He'll always live on in international channel tapes. Another cool thing about Dragon Ball GT is they utilized a lot of the musicians that did Slam Dunk, which also had an amazing soundtrack. So.
これで FCI の放送を終了します。次の放送は明日朝のニュースエクスプレス FCI です。どうぞお見逃しなく。
Good stuff. What do we got next?
11 p.m. The Slayers. And at 11:30 p.m. Ajdi Awaz.
Oh, we're going to wrap this up soon.
Give him the gift of pleasure with Vinerol.
Ooh.
A powerful new non-prescription clinically tested.
Move over to Viagra. We got Vinerol here.
No other product on the market today. Vinerol allows you to supercharge your sex life and experience total sexual rejuvenation faster.
That's right.
Turn back the hands of time and enjoy sexual pleasures experienced only.
You'll feel like you're a 12-year-old watching Baywatch.
7 out of 10 men over 50 experience sexual dysfunction or impotence. Now here's the incredible news. With Vinerol, your sexual potency can return.
I thought the Fuji Fun Time was gonna. Yeah, that happened more with Dragon Ball Z. By the Dragon Ball GT game, they tend to do that Fujisanki Communications International channel close.
No matter what your age, order Vinerol now by calling the number on your screen. Vinerol, the only enhancement product guaranteed effective on males and females regardless of age, or your money back.
Operators are standing by.
The program is rated TV PG. Viewer discretion is advised.
The Japanese celebrate the New Year by gathering together as families to drink a special kind of sake that is believed to ensure a long life.
I remember downloading the song off Kazaa, and it was just awesome. I just played the crap out of this song. I wonder if it ever appeared on Yu Yu Hakusho in Japan, since that anime was also on Fuji TV. Probably. I don't know when Yu Yu Hakusho was shown. I believe Dragon Ball was on Wednesdays at like 7:30. So yeah. Yeah, I used to download a lot of Megumi Hayashibara stuff off of Kazaa. Kazaa, that was just, I don't know, man. Good times in my room back in like 2003, 2004. Drawing not very good looking manga. Posting on message boards of people telling me I'm not drawing very good manga. Looking at AnimeNation.com and watching International Channel and staying up late writing college papers. Watching the OC. Life was pretty good back in the early 2000s, you know, so. I'm still, I never like to, as you know, I don't let go of different periods of my life. I just kind of keep the continuity going and keep myself growing, so. All right, let's see what we got here for more commercials. I need to go to bed pretty soon. Ooh, more TV Japan. Japan and China uniting for a music festival. That's good. I had TV Japan. I mean, it was okay. The best thing it had on it was Kamen Rider and One Piece. Oh, and it had Detective Conan on. So it had some good stuff. And then, like, they stopped showing as much anime, and I don't know. I paid for it for a long time. And then my family eventually just needed to save money, so.
Sounds so rich, popular science called it a sonic marvel. You hear music the way it was meant to be heard, clear.
Oh, I know what the best thing they had on was Music Station. I was so happy watching Music Station on TV Japan, but they put it on at like really inconsistent and bad times, you know, like. I mean, it got to the point where it was like every 3 weeks it was on at like 1 a.m. or something like that. It's like I don't know. It used to be on at a good time. It used to be on like at Sunday at 7:30, which is a perfectly good time. Alright. I am going to stop and fast forward, and then we're going to hit play, and that's going to be the last thing we watch tonight. Because it's probably 2 o'clock right now, so I need to go to bed. And play. What do we got? Hey, Al Hazard. This anime had great English and Japanese opening and closing credits. In fact, I like this song so much. I won't rewind it from the beginning. I really loved El Hazard, The Wanderers. That is the best El Hazard. And one of the best international channel animes. And it's just good stuff. Oh my gosh. This is so funny. I hope I don't get in trouble for showing this. We have to watch this. It's like, okay, it's like Star Trek. It's Love Boat: The Next Generation. I really hope I don't get in trouble for showing this, but it's like, it's so funny. Chris Farley as Riker is also hilarious too. Hang on. I'm gonna get in trouble for showing this, but like I it's so good. I have to show it. It's alright. I feel I might need to move the camera away because I don't want to get in trouble for you know, showing I don't know, I feel like trying to break it up a little bit here, so okay, here we go.
Oh, what's wrong, Doc? Well,
And Bernie Capel.